What up, everybody? Welcome to Utah. Okay, so if you're a national park person, you've heard about the Big Five. These are 5 national parks in Utah, and they are some of the best collections of national parks anywhere, let alone in one state. Okay, so here's the thing. We've got one weekend, and we are going to see every single park of the Big Five in Utah. Okay, we're starting with the hits here. Stop number 1 is Arches National Park, which is probably one of the most iconic things ever. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably nice enough to put on a license plate.
Oh, yep. You know it's legit. Wow, we are busy here.
All right, so what's plan B?
Okay, so Arches apparently is totally full. Well, that's the first major bummer. Dang it. Fortunately, there's another national park literally across the street. So let's see if that one's closed too, I guess. Come back in 3 hours. That's going to really hamper our ability to get this done.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought Labor Day got everybody's national park out of their system. You know?
This might
Apparently not.
This might be a complete strikeout. See how it goes.
Well, you know, we have 5 chances to get to a national park. Right?
True. It's not as deep as the Grand Canyon, but it is pretty complex and just as pretty.
Okay, so Canyonlands not a little park, and there's a lot to explore. One of the cool things here is they have a ton of 4-wheel drive trails. You also can camp on them, but they essentially treat them like a backcountry hiking trail, except you can take your rig on it. Okay, quick update. Not all of the 4x4 trails require a permit, and there's actually kind of a cool trail that connects the visitor center here in Canyonlands back to pretty much the entrance of Arches. But why not 4x4 it instead of just driving on the highway again? Well, after that, we've only seen one national park.
Yeah. But
by the way, it was one of the coolest things we've done in a national park, so I'm going to take that as a win.
That was definitely probably better than going into all the parks with all the crowds and whatever, and the scenery we saw was pretty stunning, honestly.
Now we'll take another crack at Arches. What do you think?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I don't want to get the bad news yet, you know? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to apparently one of the busiest national parks. Okay, let me say, I love this park. Arches is the most, honestly, hilarious parade of, like, stone ballet and gymnastics. It's the dumbest thing you've ever seen, ever.
Nice.
I love it.
Can't wait.
What do you call that one? Okay, so clearly you're not doing the park justice, you know, just by seeing one dumb rock, because there's so many to see. But you have to make sure that you don't miss the license plate one. The end. This is actually kind of an interesting cornerstone that the National Park Service had a debate over a few decades, I think, about how to protect this thing. And there were proposals including encasing it in fiberglass or structurally, you know, gussying it up. But ultimately the debate ended when the National Park Service decided that they're just going to let nature be. And if it falls down, it falls down. But it's not up to, you know, the Park Service to stop the processes that are in action here.
Where's the zip line down? Is that?
I honestly just don't know how this thing, I just don't get it.
It's delicate. It's a delicate subject.
Yeah, I guess. All right, friendly reminder, 2 of 5 national parks done.
A little longer than planned, but a lot more fun.
Okay, so it has been a marathon to see 2 national parks in one day, let alone the dang parks get so busy they close. But don't worry, we're almost at our 3rd out of 5 of the Utah Big 5. I need a rest.
I know, I'm getting tired, but...
All right, next one's Capitol Reef. They got fish?
I don't know. Is that kind of reef?
Okay, so here's your factoid for the day. Capitol Reef, the capital comes from the look of the white domes that we drove by, because it was like, looks like a Capitol building, right?
Got it.
So there. Anyways, Capitol Reef, this is a really, really long and skinny park, and most of it is inaccessible or is backcountry. So there is a little scenic drive. Because we're here at sunset, we'll pretty much just get to do a little bit of the drive, and that's about it. And I guess that'll save a little bit to come and do later, right? Okay, so clearly we aren't doing Capitol Reef its full justice, but it's a blessing to be able to see it at all. And it's a great way to just drive through on our way to the next national park, which you'll see in the morning. But today's been awesome. I have never been to 3 national parks in one day. We've got 2 more.
Yeah. There's a lot to do here, but we hit like a trail that was like 1.3 miles. Probably better than any hike that I've done in a long time. That probably could have been a lot longer than that even. Just super stunning. Like honestly, just if you're gonna come here and do the overlook and then do one hike, you do that sunset to Sunloop Navajo Trail or whatever, and yeah, totally awesome.
I think Bryce is simple and it's quiet, but it does get busy here. It's a great early morning spot.
Agreed. Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on here.
By far the most relaxing.
Yeah, very much so.
All right, well, I guess we'll go to another national park.
All right.
Okay, we are now in our blah, 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 oops. Okay, we're now officially in our 5th national park in 2 days. More than we'd bargained for, but this one might be the most packed and one of the most impressive and have some of the coolest stuff to do. And unfortunately, it's gonna be really difficult to do very much of that.
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing. This might be the first national park in which the main attractions sell out, and if you don't get a ticket, you're SOL. Okay, so shuttle information to get into the valley, you have to pre-purchase a $1 ticket and they sell out fast.
Definitely takes some strategic planning. But that's a whole different conversation. Zion
is not a like waltz into it and enjoy everything kind of place, you know? It It is though, and take it as a silver lining or however you want to take it, it is a place to keep coming back to because there are a lot of things to do and a lot of different unique ways to explore things. Okay, so if you know some of the sites around Zion, if you don't get on the shuttle, you don't get to do the Narrows, which is hiking down a river. If you don't get on the shuttle, you don't get to do Angel's Landing, which is the pee your pants hike where you can fall down like 3,000 feet.
Yeah.
And the only alternative is to hire a private company to drive you in there. Or just do other stuff, kind of like what we're doing, and, you know, drive around other parts of the park or enjoy the other scenery and save something to come back, you know, later.
The good thing is we've both been here before, and we'll both be back again, so we'll have to do a little more planning. By far the worst I've ever seen. This is like Yosemite without reservations.
Let me just make a broad statement about this whole park. It's red Yosemite without reservations. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, this, they could use the reservations.
Okay, so I think it's clearly a great thing that so many people want to come and see this, you know, and spend their time here. It would also suck a lot more if there weren't shuttles, and it would really detract from the experience. So I'm happy to take one for the team and not go in the valley today.
Oh yeah, I mean, imagine all the people that are in this parking lot trying to be.
Okay, so it's possible to see all 5 of the big 5 in one weekend. If you want to see them, right? Look at them, right? You should spend a whole weekend in every single one of these, or a week in some of them, if you really want to enjoy the park, get away from people, absorb, not be stressed out. It is so impressive that Utah has this much cool stuff in it, and that they're all ganged up in a way that you can get to all of them well enough. And by the way, we're gonna end the day going through Las Vegas and Los Angeles, so it's definitely accessible to a lot of people, whether you're on a road trip or whether you're flying in or whether you're renting or whether you live somewhere in the Southwest or in Colorado. A quick footnote, we saw a lot of the same people in multiple parks.
This is true.
So we know that a lot of people are doing this too, so it's possible, people do it. Take your time if you can. If you can't, go see them. That's all.
Yeah.